Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
We're pulling down this great nation called America through this prophesying. This place is going down, and the word of God is going to accomplish that task. Read.
Casting down imaginations.
What imaginations are we casting down? We are casting down the idea that you are so-called blacks, you are so-called Hispanics, you are so-called Native Americans. When God calls you the Israelites, He calls you the chosen people of God. As a preacher that has power of God. Come on around, sister. Come on around, sister. You ain't got to be on camera if you don't want to, sis, all right? Come around front right here, just so you can see the signs that we got for visual aid, okay? Now, what is your name? I know we spoke earlier, but I didn't catch your name. A baby. You're right. You're exactly right, because we discussed it's African, right? And what did I tell you about us and Africans? Are we the same people?
You said we're not.
Okay, so you understand that you're an Israelite, right?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay, so we're going to start from the very beginning. How familiar are you with the Bible? Some. Okay, so do you know who Moses was?
Yes.
Who was Moses?
Moses, I believe he was black.
He was a black man. He was. Let's actually get that. Exodus 2. You know what I want? Yes, sir. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 2 and
19. Sorry.
2 and verse 19. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water.
Now, let me actually go up to verse 15.
Verse 15. Now, when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses.
So Moses killed an Egyptian man because he was smiting his brother, his Hebrew brother. Moses did this thing and then he fled. But Moses, read it again, verse 15.
But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now, the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock.
So now he's in the land of Midian, and now he's going to the well, but he's seeing these daughters of Midian. Read.
And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock.
So Moses helped these Midianite sisters, and he helped them water their flock with the water from the well. Read.
And when they came to Reuel, their father,
so now they're going to their father, and they're going to give a description of Moses. Read.
He said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian.
A what?
An Egyptian.
So traditionally, what color were the Egyptians? The Egyptians of antiquity. They was very dark-skinned people. So Moses, being an Israelite, was confused for a dark-skinned man. You understand? So there is a difference between the Egyptians and us. They knew it back then, but he was confused because of his complexion. Do you understand? The Egyptians that are living in Egypt right now are not the same people. Those people are called in the Bible Ishmaelites. They're Arabs today. You understand? Because the real Egyptians of today, they live in places like Sudan. You understand? They go by, what's the name of the tribe? Watusi tribe. The Watusi tribe. You understand? They're still in Africa, but they're not in Egypt currently. You understand? Because that's why they trick us with the idea that people from Egypt are white. You ever seen the 10 Commandments? That movie, old black and white movie. It's all white people. You understand? That's part of the deception that they cast on our people. But Moses was mistaken for an Egyptian. Okay? So now, give me Exodus 7:11. All right? Because during the time of the plagues, what happened? Do you know?
Bring it out.
So who were those plagues getting cast upon? Say what? From Pharaoh's house. Yes, ma'am. You're exactly right. They were getting cast on the nation of Egypt. The Egyptians were getting those curses cast upon them. You understand? You got what I want? 11 and 7. 11 and 7. Because we are actually getting the understanding on how we knew back then that we were separate from the Egyptians. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel.
So this is the Most High God. Actually, verse 6. Started there.
Verse 6. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt.
Actually, let me start at verse 4.
Verse 4. And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt.
So he's giving the history on this. This is giving the account on the last plague that struck the nation of Egypt. Okay, read.
And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die.
This is also known as the Passover. You understand? Read.
From the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maid servant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt.
So there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt. Why? Read.
Such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. But against any of the children of Israel,
Against any of the children of Israel, read.
shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast.
It's talking about the Egyptians. It says not a dog. Speaking on the Egyptians, he's calling them dogs in this verse because dogs can't speak, can they? But it says not a dog move his tongue, right? Read it again.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog,
An Egyptian dog, read,
move his tongue
be able to speak against the nation of Israel, read,
against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doeth put a difference
put a difference between who?
between the Egyptians, between the Egyptians and Israel.
So the Israelites were put different or set apart from the Egyptians, okay? Now let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because we, back then, were separated from them, and to this day that stands. We have never been the same people as them. We have never been the same as Africans. We have never been the same as so-called Hamites. You understand? That's what their biblical name is. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
So now, who is Moses speaking to in this chapter? Do you know? Give me Deuteronomy 101. All right? Because it's very important we get the context. Unlike your Christian pastors, they're not going to tell you exactly what this is talking about. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who was he talking to?
All Israel.
Now let's jump to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This whole book, this whole Deuteronomy, actually the whole Bible is speaking to the Israelites, and it's for the Israelites, and it's written by the Israelites. So you can understand, okay? Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
Holy means separate, okay? Read.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Meaning, we belong to God. That's who we are. That's our creator. That's who claims ownership over us. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to.
He chose us. He chose us. Read.
To be a special people.
The Most High God chose the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as a special people. Read.
Unto himself.
That belongs to him and only him. Read.
Above all people.
So it says we are above all people that's on the face of the earth. Do you understand, baby?
I understand. I have a question.
What's your question? Why have we suffered so long? That is a great question. Because a lot of our people wonder that question.
Something wrong.
Something is wrong. Something is very wrong. Something is very, very, very wrong with our people. Now, let me ask you a question before I answer that question. Now, do you think the Most High God would just let us suffer for no reason? You think he doesn't have the ability to save us? Or do you think that we're under...
He would allow it if there's something that we're missing. If there's something that we're missing, if we're being disobedient to something we're doing.
Yeah.
And I questioned God last week. What is it that our people, what is it that we're doing that He would allow us to suffer? Because it's something, I have no doubt about our break. It is something wrong there. It's like there's a right trim. But as I was coming through, tons of people going there. But their garbage is over flooded. And if people don't have a problem with the store not taking out their garbage when they shop. It's like 2 weeks of garbage over flooded. So it's like something wrong with us. We don't know how to, I think we don't know how to turn down things or our desires. We don't know how to control our urges. I'm good.
Right.
We don't know how to control our urges.
So just to make sure that I understand your question, you're asking why have we suffered so much? Okay, we're going to answer that question. Let me get Isaiah 59:1. Read.
The book of Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy, that it cannot hear.
So the Most High God is telling us that he doesn't have any hands that he isn't able to save us, right? Or his ears are not heavy, not weighed down. He's not blocking our prayers from being hindered so that we can be saved. What's the problem though? Read.
But your iniquity.
What is iniquity? It's sin. So our what?
Iniquities.
Our iniquities, our sin, read,
have separated.
So have departed, have put a difference, have put a separation, right, between who?
Between you and your God.
So that also explains to you why you don't see other people going through these things. Let me get Hosea 4:1. That's why you don't see the so-called Japanese man going through these things. Do you see them getting shot down in their communities? Do you see them even going out and protesting? Why? Because they don't care who's president. They don't care who the Secretary of State is. They don't care who their governor is, because they know that they're going to take care of themselves inside their own communities. The same way with the Arab man, the same way with the East Indian man, the same way with the white man. They all take care of themselves, but who doesn't take care of themselves? It's us.
That's right.
Hosea 4:1. Read.
The book of Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
So again, we're listening to the Bible and it keeps talking about the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read on.
For the Lord had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So what does it mean to have a controversy? You got a problem with me. You're exactly right. You got an issue. He has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. Read.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Because we have not decided to know our God and have truth and mercy and wisdom and understanding in the land. You understand? We are not abiding by God's laws. That's what the truth is. Let me get that. Psalms 119, 142. We have not decided to abide in truth and love and mercy and kindness. Have you heard about what's going in Chicago right now?
Bring it out.
Not aware of that.
They are having record numbers of homicides, shootings. This is numbers that they haven't seen since they started recording the data on these crime sprees. You understand? Since the 1960s, we have not seen against our own people. It's black on black crime. It's black people shooting down other black people, and nobody is protesting for that thing. Where is Black Lives Matter when that's going down?
Bring it out.
We only mad when the white man kills us, but when the black man kills another black man in the hood, when Pookie is killing Ray Ray, nobody's got nothing to say. Read on.
The book of Psalms chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So God's laws is the truth. Do you understand, sis? So why is God punishing us? Just so we can get an understanding. Because we're not following God's commandments. Now I have a question for you. In the Christian church, what do they say about God's laws? Is it still in effect? It doesn't look like it. Let me get Matthew 5.
They talking, but it doesn't add up.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had your pastor told you not to eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster?
I know better.
You know better?
They eat it, I don't.
According to what? How do you know better?
According to the word, I know it's gross.
Okay.
It smells good.
Okay, it is in the word. It is in the word. We're going to get that. Let me get Matthew 5:17 first.
The book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Now what we're reading here is the New Testament. Christ is speaking. The words are in red. It says, think not what?
That I am come to destroy the law.
The Most High God never destroyed the laws. The only laws we got rid of was the law of sacrifice. Read on.
Or the prophets. prophets.
Or the prophets, because there's law in the prophets as well. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel. Those books have laws in them as well. Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He came to fulfill what was written about him in the Old Testament.
Right.
Because at this time, Matthew wasn't written, Mark wasn't written, Romans wasn't written, Thessalonians wasn't written, right? Revelations was not written. These books were not being referred to because they were not in existence yet. What they were referring to, Christ had come to fulfill everything that was written to him, the prophecies in the Old Testament.
Right.
Now, Deuteronomy 22:5. Now that you understand that we are supposed to be keeping the laws and that the laws have not been done away with, I have a law for you because it's very important that we keep these laws. For why?
Important to keep the law.
Why is it important to keep the laws? Because what does the law do for us?
Keeps us
Remember your initial question. Why are we in this position, right? It keeps us from suffering. All praises to the Most High God. We're going to get that. We're going to get that. Give me Deuteronomy 22:5.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
All right, so now that you understand that you're Israel, correct? Okay, yes ma'am. You understand that now we have to be keeping the laws in order to come back to our God, correct?
so that's one. Not wearing pants.
Right.
Head cover.
Correct. You know these things. But keep reading, just to make sure. Read.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So the same thing goes with us. The dress code goes for a man and for the woman. As a man, I'm not supposed to be up here in a romper. I'm not supposed to be up here in a dress. I'm not supposed to be up here in a skirt because that is detestable. That's disgusting unto the Most High.
That's right.
It's going to explain it. Read.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So same thing with women. Women are not supposed to be in what men wear, aka pants.
Right.
So as a sister, from now on, what should you be wearing? And why is that?
That's right.
Because it's an abomination.
It's an abomination to the Most High God. And do you love God?
There you go. Bring it out.
You love God? All praise to the Most High. So we gonna get what you...
The other abomination. How can you? I mean, what I've read, whatever it's called, abomination. The holy word.
Sirach 15:13.
Marking the holy word is an abomination.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had a Bible.
Yeah, read that.
The book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 and verse 13.
This is an abomination.
The Lord hated all abomination, and they that fear God love it not.
So all abominations are things that the Most High God does not want us to do, right? What are the things that He wants us to do? To be pleasing to Him. How are we pleasing Him to the Most High God?
And treating others with as we treat our neighbors, ourselves, and
Let me get Sirach 12 and 6 because we're gonna get the opposite. I'm gonna try and give you the answer, okay? So we're gonna try and
realize what I've been told. Mocking the holy word.
Right. But what did we just read?
You're saying there are multiple abominations.
Everything that goes against the Bible is an abomination to the Most High God. You understand? Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 6. For the Most High hated sinners.
So hate is the same thing as an abomination. Do you like something that you hate? No, hate is an abomination. Same sort of thing. Read.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
He's going to repay us for our ungodliness. Our ungodliness gets into us not keeping the commandments. You understand, sis? So what we're getting into is the difference between the clean and the unclean, right? The detestable and the acceptable unto the Most High God. Dresses and skirts for women, that's what's acceptable unto the Most High God. Do you think it would be do you think it would be crazy for the Most High God to care about what you dress, how you dress? I'm sorry, what?
I didn't see where God or destroy me because I wore pants.
So you don't think the Most High God will destroy you because you're wearing pants?
Not a loving God.
Read.
Seems like a loving God would do that.
The book of Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 8.
So it's interesting that you say only a loving God would do that, right? Is God all love? Is he just love? Is that it? Okay. Right. So we have to understand, we're going to stay right here, but this is going to prove to you right now that God cares about the things that we put on our bodies. Read.
The book of Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice.
What day is that? The day of the Lord's sacrifice. When would that be, would you think? What happens when you sacrifice something? In the Old Testament, when we would sacrifice something, what would we do to it? We would kill it.
Right.
Most High God is coming back to kill.
Right.
He's not coming back for hugs and kisses.
Right.
He's not going to be playing the guitar, singing Kumbaya. He's coming back for fire and murder.
Right.
Read on.
That I will punish the princes.
So in the day of the Lord's sacrifice, he is going to punish the princes. Read.
And the king's children.
We are the king's children. Read.
And all such as are clothed.
Are clothed. That gets into what you're putting on your body. Correct, sis? Read on.
With strange apparel.
What is strange unto the Most High God? Go back to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Read. So you understand?
Whatever's offensive.
What is it? Whatever's offensive. So as a woman, what is offensive or strange unto the Most High?
Wearing pants.
Wearing pants. Do you know why that might be offensive or strange unto the Most High? Okay.
I want to know.
That's an excellent reason we're going to explain to you. We're going to read this one more time and we're going to get it for you. 1 Timothy 2 and 9 after this. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So as we already covered, the laws are not done away with. They are still into effect. And even in the day of the Lord's sacrifice, when he comes back, he's going to be implementing these laws. So women should not be wearing what men wear, pants. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So neither should a man put on a woman's garment. I shouldn't have pantyhose on.
Right.
I shouldn't have a dress on.
Right.
Read.
For all that do so,
Everybody from big to little, great or small, read,
are abomination,
detestable, disgusting, hateful, read,
unto the Lord thy God.
And this isn't what we're telling you. This is what the Bible is saying. This is what the Lord feels about those people who do not like to wear what their appropriate clothing is. You understand?
Isaiah 52 and 1.
Isaiah 52 and 1, real quick. Let me get that.
So the Ten Commandments, the 66 commandments that link to the Ten Commandments.
613.
600.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find those?
How do you find those? How do you know? That's a great question. Okay, we're gonna actually answer that. But first, we're gonna go here. Read.
The book of Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
We're supposed to awaken to the truth, to the fact that you are a princess according to the Most High God.
That's right.
Princesses, have you ever seen a princess wear pants? No, right? Princesses wear nice, flowy, long gowns. Read.
Put on thy beautiful garment.
Put on that what?
Thy beautiful garment.
The beautiful garment that you should be wearing, sis, is what? It's a dress, because that's beautiful to God,
That's
right? This is not what man is saying. This is what the Most High God is saying. Read it again. Read it again.
Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments.
Put on that beautiful garments. It's a beautiful thing for you to wear a dress, sister. African shirt, as long as it's not immodest, it's quite all right.
Right.
Okay. Modesty meaning it should cover up your knees at least. Okay.
Right.
Even while you're sitting down, bending over, it should cover yourself up. All right. 1 Timothy 2 and 9, and then we're gonna get into your second question about the 10 Commandments. Okay. 1 Timothy, read.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, that the women adorn themselves themselves in modest apparel.
So the women are commanded to adorn themselves in modest apparel. What does it mean to be modest?
Not over the top.
Not over the top? Okay. Not exposing yourself as to attract sexual attention. Right? When,
I mean, I know that. That's why I'm asking.
I totally understand.
Disrespect.
I totally understand, my sister.
That's
And
the way I work. You know what I'm saying? I like that on the everyday. If I come in front of some brothers, I know better.
yeah, absolutely. I understand. So you say you do hard work, and that's why you're in the outfit that you're wearing. What is the most hard, laborious work you can think of?
The what?
What is the most extenuating, like extreme work you could think of?
That I do?
And anybody could do. Okay, lifting heavy weights. Let me show you something right here. Let me show you something. Right here in the cotton fields, what do you see women wearing?
Bring it out.
They were wearing long dresses. Slavery was back-breaking work, sis. And still, they were in modest apparel. Each and every one of our sisters, you did not see them out there in pants. You didn't see them out there in leggings. You didn't see them out there in their underwear, because that's exactly what leggings are. They were keeping this right here. Read it again.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves
Put on, read,
in modest apparel,
modest apparel, those beautiful garments that we read about in Isaiah, right? Read on.
with shamefacedness and sobriety.
So you should be shamefaced and sober, right? Shamefacedness, what is that getting into?
You say shamefaced?
Shamefacedness, what is that getting into? Humility, even not being all up in a man's face, not being all like, hey, I can get you if I need to, right? What, do we have examples like that in the black community nowadays? Do we have any shamefaced women? You're exactly right. That is a scriptural example right there. Let me get Ezekiel 16:44. All right, my brother. What's your name, man? Bald head? Okay, all right. Bald head mean Abebe? Am I pronouncing that right? Abebe. Okay. Do you see yourself in this on the sign right here? Yeah. What do you see yourself as? American black. So you'll be from the tribe of Judah. Sis, you'll be from the tribe of Judah as well, I'm assuming. Okay, all praises. Now you said something very heavy. You said something extremely heavy now about the daughters learning from their mothers. That's in the Bible. We're going to read it. Read.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee.
So it's talking about a wise saying. That's what a proverb is. Read.
Saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
So as the mother, so was the daughter. If the mom is loud and beats on the chest and likes to scream and yell and do all that stuff to get her way, this daughter's gonna be that exact same way. If the mother is shamefaced and quiet and humble, the daughter is going to be the exact same way. Read on.
Thou art thy mother's daughter.
You are your mother's daughter. Read.
That loatheth her husband.
So that's what our women teach nowadays, right? They don't teach our sisters to love their husbands. They don't teach them to love their children. They teach them, hey, if you gonna get something from your dad, do him like I do him. Yeah. Call him out. Call him an N-word. Call him this. Call him that. Bumped heads with him. Not all of our sisters, but that's what's pushed in society today. Read.
And her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters.
So the sisters are going to be exactly alike because they all are showing a poor example to their younger daughters. Read.
Which loatheth their husbands and their children.
See, again, it's getting into it. It's a cycle. You've heard of that in the black community, right? These things are repetitive issues that we deal with because why? We don't keep God's laws.
Right.
Read.
Your mother was an Hittite, and your father an Amorite.
So this is a byword that it's calling it. It's an insult, right? It's saying your mom was a Hittite and your father was an Amorite. Now, you had a question about the 10 Commandments. How do we understand that the 10 Commandments apply to all the other ones, correct? I'm going to give you an example. Romans 7:7. Romans 7:7. Okay. Go ahead and look it up while he's looking for this, because it's very important that you understand that the 10 Commandments operate as an outline for the rest of the 613. All right? We're going to get 2 scriptures to show you that as an example. Read.
The book of Romans chapter 7 and verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid.
So again, this is getting into the fact that we should be keeping the laws today, because the law is not sin. The law keeps us from sin. Read. It's going to explain that. Read.
Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law, for I had not known lust.
So is lust in the law? Is lust in the 10 Commandments? Is thou shalt not lust in the 10 Commandments? No, right? But it says thou shalt not know lust. Read it again.
For I had not known the law. I had not known lust except the law.
Except the law, the 10 Commandments, read.
Had said, thou shalt not covet.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not covet.
Now, what commandment is that? It's the last commandment. It's the 10th commandment. Thou shalt not.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.